make sure that you pick the right words. And the right words means the denotation is correct, so technically the word is right, but the connotation is also correct. And that's the problem with using words you don't really understand, is that you'll get the denotation right, but the connotation is off, so you impair the poetic integrity of your sentences and your paragraphs. So you probably shouldn't write using words that you couldn't use if you were speaking, because you're not familiar enough with the words to use them like a master, and you might fool yourself and other people who don't know any more about the words than you do, but if you're actually writing for someone who's literate, they'll spot that instantly. So don't spell the words wrong, use the correct words, then put them in the proper phrases, because your phrases should be poetic and punchy and tight and terse and pointed and not cliched. And then the phrases should be organized into sentences that are grammatically coherent and that have impact. And you can often improve your sentences dramatically, by the way, after you do a first draft by just shortening them 15%. Just try to cut out extra words. Hemingway was a master at this. Hemingway, when he wrote his short stories, which are masterpieces of understatement and direct, clear prose, would write out his story and then get rid of every single thing he could, sentences and paragraphs, until you could still understand the progression of the story, but in the most minimally provided sense, which also meant you had to fill it with your imagination. And so just trimming down your essay, I always told my students, write your essay and then cut it at least 15 to 20%. And you can do that, makes it way better. So you get the words right and the phrases right and the sentences right. Then you have to organize the sentences within each paragraph. So each paragraph should be a mini essay, about 10 sentences long. And then each paragraph should stand alone in some sense as a collection of thoughts devoted to one point. And it should have an opening sentence that is a transition from the previous paragraph and a closing sentence that is a transition to the next paragraph. And then your paragraphs have to be sequenced, and then the paragraph sequences into subchapters, let's say, under the guise of subheadings, have to be sequenced so that the essay exists as a coherent and meaningful totality. And you actually grade at every single one of those levels simultaneously as you comprehend at every one of those levels simultaneously.